रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा आप अजय ठाकुर जी को वेलकम करें and we will move forward.
Ajay Thakur ji, I welcome you to this forum from Profit From It. I welcome you to the family here. Am I audible to you, Ajay ji?
Hello.
Ajay ji, oh, nice to hear you, Ajay.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, thank you. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, Ajay ji, loud and clear.
Okay,
thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for joining in. Ajay ji, Ajay ji, let me welcome you, and I'll just give a brief introduction about you to our viewers. So just let me give you a brief view. Ajay ji is presently the head of the BSc SME segment with BSc, and just to give you a brief background of Ajay ji. Ajay ji is the executive committee member of the Indian Merchant Chambers. He's a jury member of the India SME Forum. He's a member of the advisory committee of the GLE University, and is also associated with Nanubhai and company as a member of the advisory board in their fintech company called Parial Fintech Services Private Limited. So Ajay ji's career spans over 26 years, and he's worked in various capacities with various organizations, some of them being Stockholding Corporation of India, the Vadodara Stock Exchange, and the Bombay Stock Exchange. He's joined Bombay Stock Exchange in 1996 as the head arbitration and business development, and as I said, currently heads and is responsible for the development of BSc SMEs and startups. So that's a brief introduction, and without wasting much time, I'll just get into a discussion with Ajay ji so that we get more time for insights from him. So thank you, Ajay ji, once again for accepting our invitation today. And so Ajay ji, I was very keen on having you on board, and the reason was in an economy like ours, like a growing economy like ours, the startup and the SME ecology is very important. We just cannot overlook these guys. You know, I mean, just to take on data from BSc. The BSc SME platform was launched just a few years ago, and there are almost about 340 companies on board with around a market cap of around 32,000 crores. I believe 100 odd companies approximately have moved from the SME board to the main board. You know, and they'll have raised about 3,500 crores. That's a whopping number. I mean, that's salute and kudos to you guys. I mean, for facilitating such a platform. No doubt, it's been a highly successful venture with you guys. And investors have been very keen. You know. Right, like we've been investing more on and looking at the main board rather than looking at SMEs and startups. You know, although there's some amount of keenness, but there is some amount of caution as well. So could you just explain to us, I mean, more about the BSc startup and the SME platform? Since most of the investors are, as I said, you know, from the look at the main board. So I mean, with your insight, probably we could start looking at your platform as well. Ajay, you're on mute.
Thanks, Kishore ji. It's my pleasure to be on your platform. As far as stock exchange is concerned, you know, last 1.5 years we have seen a biggest bull run of the century.
Right.
And even this COVID, you know, in the early period of the COVID, if you'd see last year, we have seen the market crashing from 42,000 to 24,500 level. And
Correct.
After that, we have seen non-stop rally in the market.
Absolutely.
So as far as stock exchange is concerned, we are 147-year-old organization. We have created the equity culture in the country among all the entrepreneurs. If you see the last history, that prior to 2010-11 or 2009-10, stock exchanges were allowing all sorts of companies to get listed, whether it's a small company, medium company, or large corporates. But over the period, and because of some you know, bad incidents which have happened onto the capital market, because you know the capital market is a very risky market, and investors don't have that much acumen to understand the finances of the company or understand the business of the company. So we have seen some ugly incidents that have happened onto the you know, stock exchange, and therefore we as regulators have taken some tough measures and you know, and made the guidelines very stringent. And therefore, it became
Right.
very much difficult for small and medium enterprises to get listed. Say, for example, on the stock exchange, we have made the guidelines saying that, unless until you have got 15 crores profit in at least 3 years out of 5
Right.
years, then only you can get listed. And besides that, if you see the compliances have also moved up substantially. It is now quarterly compliances. We are seeing many companies doing lots of compliances. And when we were trying to launch this SME platform, there was this sort of concern that if we have the same compliance requirement onto the SME board, then there are chances that the promoters of the small medium companies get panicked and they will never come forward to get listed onto the SME platform.
Right.
So we want that, and also there was a behest from from the central government at that point of time that a SME stock exchange should be launched. This was in 2010. The central government want that there should be a separate stock exchange for SME companies where they can get listed in a very cost-effective manner and the compliance should be minimal. So SEBI has come out with the guideline in 2010, on 18th May 2010, and requested the stock exchanges to start the SME platform. They have also stipulated the eligibility criteria for the stock exchanges or anybody else who wants to form SME exchange to have minimum 100 crores of net worth and proper infrastructure to start this SME platform. So of course, at that point of time, there were only 2 stock exchanges, that is BSE and NSE, which can start the SME platform. Right. And we understood that equity is the, one of the most useful resources for any company to grow. And therefore, we take the initiative and approach to SEBI to give us the permission to launch this SME platform. And let me tell you, we were the first stock exchange to get approval from SEBI to launch this SME platform on 26 September 2011. And we again became the first stock exchange to launch this SME platform on 13th March 2012. Let me tell you, it was a very difficult journey. And, at that juncture, we were working quite hard for last 1.5 years to launch this SME platform. But there were a lot of pessimism because we have earlier precedents of OTCI, which got launched with the same guidelines which was existing on the SME platform. And, everybody was very much skeptical that whether this SME platform will succeed or not. So, of course, it was very, very, very difficult. Let me tell you, I have to pursue one company and one merchant banker to come forward to start this SME platform. And we were fortunate that after convincing a lot, in 6 months, one company got ready that, okay, we will get listed. And one merchant banker also come forward who has never worked onto the main board of the stock exchange. He was just working as a syndicate merchant banker or doing open offers. He got ready to, join us on the SME platform. And again, the cost was kept as low as we can, so as to incentivize that that small medium enterprise to get listed onto the stock exchange. So that was a symbolic, of course, it was a symbolic move, so that we can get confidence, we can give confidence to the market, and we have in fact, let me tell you, we have in fact motivate ourselves to take this path of creating a vibrant SME stock exchange in India.
Right. I'm sure you guys are motivated enough. I mean, the way you have come ahead, I mean, right, your experience from just getting in one company somehow, I mean, the way you've explained it, and getting to 340 odd companies is an achievement in itself. That speaks volumes about the efforts that you guys have put up in setting up an ecosystem, But Ajay, just one question. I mean, being as an investor myself, I mean, so generally, I or investors amongst us, right? We are very cautious about while we invest or think about investing in SMEs and startups. So could you give us some insights, I mean, and what things we should look out for, or some good or bad experiences or tough experience that you would have had, or the investors should keep in mind, because rather we're very cautious or very skeptical of investing in startups. All the same.
Let me tell you, very categorically, it's not like that prior to the launching of the SME platform, a stock exchange was not existing. A stock exchange was existing prior to the launch of SME platform for 140 years. Okay, we have the history where the sufficient wealth has been created in the capital market. Also, people have some bad experience whereby they have lost also. So equity by nature, gives you a status of partnership in the business. So a business by nature itself is a risky proposition. Business may succeed, business may not succeed.
Right.
Okay, so the investors prior to SME exchange also, they have lost, they have gained also in some stocks, and they have lost also some stocks. A small and medium stock exchange can't be looked separately from the main board of the stock exchange. If the companies like Reliance, which has started as a small company, can succeed, if Infosys as a small company can succeed, if there are various other companies which on the stock exchange when they got listed was very small company, they can succeed, then I think these companies can also succeed. But there are examples like Unicam, there are many examples, Suzlon, and there are various other examples we have seen where the investors have invested at a very high valuation and then they have lost heavily.
Right.
So I am not here saying that there is a guarantee to succeed or, to grow your money. I can't take that guarantee. My job is to ensure that I should have a robust trading platform where the investors look into the company, they invest after doing thorough scrutiny, and then then decide whether it's a right investment or not. So what we have tried, let me tell you what we have tried. We have for the easy access of the small and medium enterprise onto the stock exchange, we have relaxed the guidelines. What we said that any company having net tangible assets of 1.5 crores, paid up capital up to 25 crores, and track record of existence for 3 years, and operating profit in any one of the 3 years, they are eligible to get listed onto the SME platform. So as far as the eligibility criteria is concerned, we have relaxed substantially. Now, when it comes to compliances, post-listing compliances, there also we have relaxed the compliances. Instead of quarterly compliance, here we have done half-yearly compliance. And let me tell you, it was a demand from the promoter side that, you have to do this. You have to keep the cost as minimal as you can, because the more the compliances, we have to bear more cost, and we don't have that bandwidth at this point of time. Okay. Besides that, let me tell you, whenever we approach to the promoters, they don't have any issue in getting listed. The only issue that comes in front of the promoters that they tell us that, their advisors, their financial advisors, and so on and so forth, has told them that they post-listing, they have to do lots of compliances, they have to do lots of corporate governances, and, and therefore, it will be a pain for them to, remain a listed entity. So these type of things are being told to the promoters. So what we have to do, what we have thought in our wisdom, that create a conducive atmosphere for the promoters. That's the one way, so that there should not be any fear of compliances or fear of cost to the promoters. So first you have to put the train onto the track so that it should start moving smoothly. Now the second thing is that how the valuation moves. Valuation moves mostly on the performance of the company. Say, for example, this year they have shown a profit of 5 crores, next year 7 crores, third year 10 crores. Of course, if the business performance, if the financial performance of the companies are getting better year on year, investors' trust in the company will keep on growing. Okay, so there is a benchmark. There is there is a system that the promoters need to follow. If they are going to show those financial performance, I think investors' trust will go into the company, and those companies will grow. third, what what all the decision makers have decided that of course capital market itself is a risky proposition, and in that also SME can be more risky proposition. Okay, so therefore therefore it was decided that the minimum investment ticket size on the SME platform should be rupees 1 lakh. So that someone who is investing rupees 1 lakh, he will do proper research. At least he should have proper acumen. He will understand what the company is doing. At the same time, they will have deeper pocket to take the risk. Okay. Say for example, I'm giving you an example. You have talked about the startups. Okay. There are many, there are 50,000 startups in the country. There are private equity, investors, VC investors are there, angel investors are there. They invest in 100 companies, but not all 100 companies becomes unicorn. Only one company or two companies may become unicorn. Okay, but it didn't. But what happens? Those two companies give them a return of 10 to 12% on their total portfolio. Right. So there the risk is much more. Now, when I'm talking about the SME companies, these companies have the track record. That's why we are showcasing to the investors that see their track records are there. 3 years track record is there, 4 years. Now, if you understand the business, if you have the patience to remain with the company for a longer time, you better invest. Otherwise, it's your call. Okay. So but let me tell you, you have asked a particular. So these were the things that I want to tell you so that the investors can take prudent decisions.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Now, as far as our SME platform is concerned, let me tell you, we have got almost 342 companies listed.
Right.
And almost if you see the market capitalization of this company, it's almost 31,700 crores. Now, this 31,700 crores has not happened out of a blue. It has not happened in the sky. It means that the companies have, at least 55–60% of the companies must have performed very well. Let me tell you, recently on the SME platform, one SME listed company have raised QIB funding of 101.68 crores. 101.68 crores. When the company we have got listed, they have come at a price of 60 rupees. 180 rupees. And they have raised 60 crore. Today the price is 1,800 rupees after 2.5 years.
Absolutely super.
Okay, when we got listed Bajaj Healthcare, the profit was 4 crore rupees.
Right.
This year the profit is 83 crores rupees.
Right.
Okay, and the valuation is around 1,200 crores. So some of the extraordinary, same way Valiant Organics, which we got listed, it has done extraordinarily well. Recently, we have listed EKI Energy. This year they have shown a turnover of 190 crores and profit of almost 19 crores.
Right.
So they are, if you go and study the company, I can't claim that 100% of the companies have been successful. But let me tell you, good percentage of the SME companies have given extraordinary returns to the SME investors. And let me tell you, I feel proud that when, I see that, okay, these companies have done extraordinarily well. Because even if I, make 40% or 50% companies do extraordinarily well, I think that, okay, this platform has been very successful.
Absolutely. Fantastic job. I mean, there's no other way you can describe it. It's a fantastic job. So, Ajay ji, just so for a viewer's interest, I mean, do you see any upgrades coming from the startups? When I say upgrades, I mean, do you see companies like Zomato, Paytm that are now coming that we can see in the next 10 years? Do you see any companies in your? I mean, you're viewing all the 340 companies, right? Do you see any of them becoming as big as a Zomato, Paytm, or even if there are, then how many more can be seen? I mean, how big is the ecosystem?
Let me tell you, I am speechless at most of the times. This capital market, I have been in the capital market for almost 27 years, let me tell you.
Right.
And it has given, many of the times it has given, extraordinary surprises.
Absolutely.
I can't think of those surprises. who can think of 6 months back or 8 months back, who could have think that a loss-making company of 686 crores can create a market cap more than Steel Authority of India Limited? Okay, it's almost 1,10,000 crore. So in India, so many things have started happening. Now we are seeing Paytm coming. Now, how this Zomato got motivated? It's only because Najara got listed prior to that. Right. Okay, and right. Najara in the capital market has again, done extraordinary well. Though top line, bottom line may not be that good, but again, a startup. So I think, in the times to come, the way, and, let me also tell you, after this, I am seeing a lot of, P investments coming in the startups. If you see last 4, 5, or 10 days newspaper, reports, there are so many funds started investing in these startups, right. which are in India. Now we are seeing Paytm. Maybe 6, 7 months back, 8 months back, nobody could have even thought of. Even in last, let me tell you, in last 10 years, I have never seen any startup, even pitch for a stock exchange listing. So this type of surprises has started happening. In fact, let me tell you, in the capital market, this COVID has come as blessing in disguise. Okay, so for capital market, all good things has started happening. Market cap growing $3.1 trillion. Okay, we have seen, highest number of investors getting registered with BSE. Almost 70 million investors have got registered with the stock exchange. Retailers are pumping money into the market. In fact, if you see in the recent times, FIA have withdrawn money from the capital market, right. but still capital market is strong. We have right. seen a lot of inflow of funds into the mutual fund. AUM under the mutual fund has grown to 38 lakh crores. So many good things have started happening into the stock market, and I right. think that is going to give
correct.
a lot of push to this.
So by what you're saying, I gather the point that the prospects for startups in India is very good.
I hope so.
I'm sure it is. So just to make a last point to our investors, I mean, since we are keenly looking at investing in startups, so can you just give us about 2 or 3 points that an investor should look at before investing in a startup?
I can't give any 3-4 pointers because I am from the old school of thoughts whereby, we see top line, bottom line, all those things. But, I think more than that, I think investors should look to the market trend. What is right. happening into the market? Okay.
Right.
We don't know that startups, when the startups will turn into profit or what will happen. Okay, but as far as the market has got the appetite for these startups and they have this appetite to invest into this company, I think investors may look into investing into those companies.
Absolutely, Ajay ji. Ajay ji, for a brief moment, I'd just like to introduce you to Mr. Piyush Patel. He's been a mentor and the co-founder of Profit From It. So Piyush, I'll just invite you to for a 2-minute introduction of yourself with Mr. Ajay ji.
Yeah, Ajay bhai, welcome to our meeting.
Thank you.
And we are glad to see you here. Thank you very much. We met during Ahmedabad Meet when you were just launching this SME platform. And during that time, if I remember, we have just 10 to 15 listed companies in SME. And even I saw your party of 100 companies, crossing 100 companies. Right? And today we can see that it's huge 300 companies. So congratulations on this huge success. Due to your very hard work, today startups are getting a very good platform, and investors who can take risk on their own, who know how to study the company, they can even invest in startups also. So they get the opportunity to invest, and SMEs get the opportunity to list. Right? So that's a very good thing which India got from you. Right? So thank you very much, Ajay bhai.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ajay ji. Thank you so much for gracing the platform. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And giving us insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you.